Pitfalls are everywhere in our life. And I know we've gone through this passage on the fruits of the Spirit. Galatians 5 has that famous section where it's talking about these fruits, that list. But we might forget the lesser known list that Paul writes just a couple verses earlier. Just a couple verses earlier in chapter 5 there, Paul wrote about a number of pits that we tend to fall into over and over again in our life. And he writes this, he says, "Now the fruits of the flesh are evident: sexual immorality, impurity, sensuality, idolatry, sorcery, enmity, strife, jealousy, fits of anger, rivalries, dissensions, divisions, envy, drunkenness, orgies, and things like these. I warn you, as I've warned you before, that those who do such things will not inherit the kingdom of God." The thing about all of these pitfalls is that those things that Paul just listed are what happens when we let our lives get out of control. I was just talking right before the service about this lovely weather we were having, about how we always prefer snow rather than ice. Because what is the most terrifying thing is black ice out there that you don't see. And suddenly your car is saying, "I'm no longer going to respond to you. I'm going to go off in a new direction, whipping around on this black ice." And that feeling of not being able to do anything with the steering wheel, with the brakes, nothing, you are out of control, is a terrifying feeling. It's terrifying when we're driving a car. It's terrifying in our lives. And so today, we come to this final fruit of the Spirit that helps us avoid these pits that unfortunately we have fallen into, and Jesus is always faithful to get us out of. Now, what's really interesting, I think there's something unique about each of these fruits of the Spirit that Paul lists, but self-control might be the most unique fruit of the Spirit because it stands alone. It is the cheese. It stands alone. Out of the entire. Do you sense why? All of the other fruits of the Spirit are aimed at other people. They're from you to others. I love others. I am patient toward others. I am faithful toward others. But self-control is the one fruit of the Spirit that is aimed at us, that is aimed inward. It is entirely an internal fruit of the Spirit. This fruit is a defensive fruit of the Spirit. It safeguards us from hurting ourselves and also others. I was trying to rack my brain as I was writing this sermon. I was trying to go, okay, let's be fair here. Is there any positive example of being out of control?